for Carrington. It's dumped by Benami. The leaders are winding up here. Daytona, the big one is out. Hey buddy, did you get my message?
Alright, good evening, race fans. Sorry for that problematic delay at the start there. We've got Espinel leading the race very well from the start, and followed not too shortly by Lloyd and Nelson going side by side into turn 2 as they make their way past the first lap. They are really looking racy already. And as we have a spin already, straight away, yellow flag, second only the second lap in. Looks like Doug Newbigging going off there. Jim, yeah, just interesting to see who's at fault there, as it like the 41 came wasn't quite as high on the track as he perhaps should have been. Yeah. Oh, and gets collected as well by quite a couple of drivers. Wow. My apologies. Here up in the booth, had some technical difficulties to get it started, and but we're underway now. We're underway now as we've got Espinal leading lap 4 of your 140 Throwback 140 race for the Camping Universe Truck Series, presented by Team Goon Squad. I am your commentator, your broadcaster, Gareth McAllister, and it's great to have everyone tuning in. Got Aspinall leading, Caleb Nelson following, Brady Floyd, Jared Ziegler, Lucas Strayer in 5th at the moment, Cloud, Jeffrey Sykes, Kevin Nielsen, Mitchell Muma, Brett Murphy. Now we're here. Daniel J. After Brett Murphy, we've got John Beoya, Brian Robinson, Zachary, 13th, 14th, Daniel Jensen, Cody Schultz, Josiah Strauss, Nicholas Wing, Chris Sawyer, Brian Ziegler, and Sawyer are 18th and 19th. They're in the back while they get sorted out once again. Derek Stanley in 20th, and as we saw, Doug Newbinging 21st, and Quinn Gingrich in 22nd. Currently, they're a lap down as well, shown because of that incident early on lap 2 of this race so far. Also got Norman King tuning in, watching at home. So hello to him. And yeah, sorry as I get my composure back up and running. Enjoy those old throwback paint schemes. Paying homage to previous racing series across motorsport. As we look at the race once again as it goes underway, Tyler Aspinall with a huge jump, just like he did at the start of the race. Brady Floyd coming in second there, under pressure from Caleb Nelson, Jared Ziegler, and Lucas Strayer, all in that 4-car train, second, third, fourth, and fifth. Looks like Strayer trying to make the outside pass on Ziegler there. I haven't driven Rockingham myself. I'm not quite sure what the preferred line is, as we see Nelson making a move on Floyd and Strayer on Ziegler as well. Strayer's really able to make that high line work. So has Floyd, as Nelson make that move on the inside. Strayer's going to go around as well, seemingly getting that quick drive off the high line there. Nelson and Strayer still side by side. Strayer's going quite high, not all the way up against the wall, but certainly Nelson leaving him enough room to get that pass underway and not impede himself too much. As we have another caution, lap 9, it's going to be Jeffrey Sykes bringing that one out. Just looks like, yeah, he got tagged there by the 60 car. That's just a little, you could almost call that a little bit of a love tap. Doesn't look like any damage came across there from either driver. Just a little bit of a, hey, I'm quicker, and yep, you're in the way. That's how I'm going to interpret that one. I'm sure these guys are all friends on track, and it's good to see them out. The first time calling the Camping Universe Truck Series, and yeah, guys are already looking very racy. We're only lap 11. Oh boy, what's tonight got in store for us? Sure, action around the track. As we watch the cars get gridded up side by side. Ringrich and Bigging showing as out of the race at the moment. They've probably decided very early on that they might not want to continue in this one. But you never know, sometimes drivers will decide that they want to come back out, and certainly hope to see them back out on track again because more the merrier, as they always say. Never like to see anyone retiring early, so nice to see if they come back out. Love seeing these old paint jobs here. Got to admit to probably enjoying Floyd's the most. That that Valvoline paint car reminds me of when I was a kid. I had a Hot Wheels Valvoline paint car, my Daytona, tiny little racetrack. To put the cars in one of those like charge things, and then charge up the rear tires. You put them up, and it go around as fast as. Oh, the joys of being a child. Started my love of NASCAR, so yep, I certainly did grow up in a happy and learning all some regulations. Now I'm addicted. Oh, Americans grow on me. All right, as they get gridded up and the pace car lights are off, so we should have a call to green very shortly. Interesting. Lap 13, out of 140, so we're getting there. We're getting it going. Let's see, the cheese and paint. That looks. That will be loud in that one. In the 57 car, it's a Chevrolet Silverado. As the pace car is off, and we are underway once again. Espinel takes a huge jump once again. Bradley Floyd trying to stick with him as Straya sends it down the inside. That Toyota Tundra seemingly having quite a bit of grip at the moment. He was able to make the highline work very well. He sent it into the inside this time, making the move stick. As see these drivers not quite hugging the bottom, but not quite in the middle either. Kind of halfway on both sort of lanes, it looks like. So it should be an interesting one to watch, as we have a battle going on slightly further back. Brett Murphy and Jared Ziegler going at it. And behind them as well, as Hummer and Cloud go to... Oh, there's so much action. Keeps it trying to go around the high side. The two Chevys there battling it out. Same car. Probably not similar drivers. I'd imagine they'd be quite different in there. And yep, looks like Murphy's able to make the pass there. So good on the 64 car, making that one stick. As lap times at the moment, your best lap time so far for the last lap was Lucas Strayer up in second place. He's really on the ball, trying to catch up to Aspinall. Best lap time was 2:24.19. The best lap time of the race so far is a 24:17. Also driven by Lucas Strayer, so he has really got the ball rolling after starting in the seventh place, 8th place. I'm really over the shop. Anyway, it is looking like a good race. Strayer really catching up to Espinel here, trying to fight for the lead. These guys are both a full second ahead of the rest of the field. We've seen how fast Espinel has already been able to be, and we've seen how Strayer is able to make his way through traffic. So it'll be good to see if Strayer has anything to give him here. Certainly able to catch up, but it is a different thing entirely to go for that pass. As these brand new Camping World trucks are looking incredibly racy as well as incredibly nice designed. I quite like the look of the new trucks coming out. Certainly there was quite a bit of a slump in pickup design for quite a number of years. I feel like they haven't updated a whole lot as Espinel gets caught up in the outside wall trying to do something different to get away from Strayer. Just tags the outside wall barely. Strayer not able to capitalize, unfortunately. So they will still go nose to tail. As we back to the battle for 4th and 5th. Murphy trying a move on Caleb Nelson now. They're both going very low. Interesting to see them running slightly different lines to the leaders. The leaders slightly higher as Murphy sends it in a little bit too deep. Gets up and almost gets into Nelson there, but Nelson able to hang on to the outside. And keep it pointed in the right direction. They make their way around already up to lap 24. These lap times, 24-second lap times, they are going unbelievably quickly in this third race of the Camping Universe Truck Series at Rockingham Speedway. I'll be interested to see what kind of factor tyre wear plays in this race, as they have 4 sets of tyres at their disposal. I believe that's including the tyres that they already have on as well. So certainly interesting to see if the lap times fall off. They haven't so far. Everyone's still running around at the 24.5 sort of mark. As it looked like Murphy almost got into the back of Nelson, but really didn't want to cause an accident, so backed off very hard. And he's looking like Ziegler is going to capitalize on that maneuver, going to the high line there. Maybe not. Maybe Murphy can end this one back in. No, we have seen the high line work seemingly quite well so far, especially around to get around traffic. So it will be interesting to see. Espinal, meanwhile, has been able to make a sizable gap of almost a second over Lucas Strayer, who almost has a second on Lloyd in third place. So starting to get a little bit stretched out here, the field. At least at the front, as we keep on seeing, as you can see, the massive stack behind cars of behind Murphy. Murphy in 6th place, followed by Puma in 7th. Thornton, Stanley. I mean, these cars are under a blanket here. Got to have a shout out to Derek Stanley in a sea of red, white, and blue. He is our resident international Canadian, appearing in this race at the moment. The only one out on track, a different nationality, so always good to see the internationals representing during NASCAR. Not to take away anything from the Americans, who are definitely showing everyone how it's done. Whoa, as they get very, very close to touching Stanley and Thornton. They might have actually touched a little bit there, but thankfully not enough contact to really cause any major concern. As this battle for 8th spot continues, Stanley's looking very racy. Looks like he almost wants to turn Thornton away. Probably getting a little bit annoyed of seeing the back of that Tundra. His own Tundra. Tundra seems to be a fairly popular choice. Silverado's still a popular choice. Don't see many Fords out there. But Bradley Floyd, who is in 3rd place in his Ford though. And Corey Schultz back in 18th with his Ford as well. I didn't look away as Stanley did manage to get around Thornton, but Thornton trying to apply the pressure back towards him to try and get that place back again. Isn't able to do it, and now he'll be under pressure and actually passed by Boyer there. That one will take place. Cloud getting under pressure by Nelson as well. These guys are looking very, very racy. It's only lap 33 of 140, but certainly the action picking up already as we see multiple two wides once again. Murphy and Stanley. Stanley still racking up the positions. He's your biggest move of the race so far, up 9 spots from where he started, up into 6th place. Definitely making moves. As the Canadian man with a plan. That's probably sounded better in my head. As we've got Espinal still all by his lonesome out the front. And your camera back to said leader. And he has a sizable 2-second gap over Jared Floyd there. Or Bradley Floyd, excuse me. There he is. That's the 2-second gap just there. Caleb Nelson, another 2 seconds behind him in 3rd place. That'll be your top 3, but he does have some company from Strayer and Ziegler looking to get in on the action. Not quite close enough that it looks like draft is going to help them much, so they might have to find something else, as we do see Nelson actually taking the low line there. That is interesting, as it looks like Espinal and Floyd are taking a slightly higher line throughout the corner. As we saw Floyd actually getting way up into the corner, probably trying to get a run off of the outside line onto the front stretch. Tyler's kind of running in the mid, so it's interesting to see how tire wear is actually being affected by where these guys are running as well. Obviously on the outside line you don't have to turn the corner as much, so you're not scrubbing the tires and wearing them out as quickly. However, you are having a longer distance around the racetrack, which also does wear the tires more quickly, so it could definitely be together. As we end the camera back to Jared Ziegler, is still looking like he's trying to get a bit closer to Caleb Nelson. Australia's looking like he may have used up what he had. It's looking very, very racy earlier on, but looks like he's dropped off the pace just ever so slightly. So as he gets... Bradley Floyd had a bit of a blink. I hope that doesn't come back to haunt him here, as he is still sitting in second, and that would be incredibly unfortunate. We'd hate to see that ruin his day, as we've still got massive battles that I should be paying attention to, as Mitchell Muma has made his way around Zachary Thornton, who is still falling back a little bit. It looks like we haven't talked about Jeffrey Sykes yet today. So, he's looking like he's been making some moves here. I do love seeing all these old paint schemes. Really reminds me of my youth. Oh man, that just makes me sound old. Anyway, we are still looking at this. Oh no! No, boys! Oh, there's netcode all over the place as cars go wrecking. 1, 2, 3. So many cars. No. No, 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 no. Oh, I caught the tail end of that one. Back that one up a bit. So, yeah, okay. They were already wrecking ahead of him. Gotta find... I am at 57 car of Will Cloud. Oh, that's a mistake. Well, Will Cloud's on pit road. Jeffrey Sykes is on pit road. Everyone's on pit road. Everyone's on pit road getting new tires. Which does not surprise me in the least. I'm sure it doesn't surprise anyone else either, as these guys were using up their tires very, very quickly, their rubber. Lap 44 of 140. Still got quite a ways to go here. See the drivers there making their way out of pit road. Bit of puff of smoke from some wheel spin these drivers are having in their pit stall, trying to get the power down to concrete, I believe it is, where the pit stalls are. Looks like concrete instead of pavement. Back up front, and we get them gridded up for our next green flag run. King letting us know that tyre wear is going to be a huge factor in this race. Nice to see him coming out and supporting these drivers. He said you can't go 3 wide through the rock. Well, we saw them try, and yeah, it did not seem to work. So we watch these drivers continue to make their way around. Every one of them getting fresh rubber, and some of them getting some repairs done. And if you're just tuning us, this is Camping Universe Truck Series once again, presented by Team Squad. I am Gareth McAllister, your broadcaster, and yep, we are under our third caution of the night, 46 laps in, 140 lap Rockingham Speedway Festival of Speed. Let's call it the Festival of Speed. They are rolling through some amazing lap times. We have seen some low to mid 24s. Pace has not really been dropping at all. Um, even after 30 plus laps of green flag, no real tire fall off, I don't think, in the pace, as far as pace is concerned, but handling wise, I'm sure these drivers certainly felt it. As the pace car makes the hard left turn down pit road, Aspinall gets a jump once again as Strayer tried to push him along there, but looks like wasn't able to stick with Espinel into the first corner. Does look like he did get a little bit of a better run coming out of the corner though, so trying to make that one keep going as these drivers struggle with the new tires. Got to get them heated up and ready to roll. Caleb Nelson sitting in third. We've got Stanley and Ziegler. Oh, excuse me, Stanley and Muma having a big battle. We got a car around once again. Brett Murphy. That's going to bring out the caution. Probably getting a little bit too comfortable too early on that fresh rubber. And seemingly just sending him around just a bit. I'm pretty sure that was there's no contact there. Yep, just unfortunately trying to get a little bit too much power down too early out of the corner. Barely clips the inside wall there. These drivers have 0 fast repairs, so if they do get their things wadded up in an accident, they will have to stay in road until their crew has determined that there is enough duct tape on their vehicles for them to continue. As we see some couple of problems and more cars coming down pit road, possibly to get a tiny amount of damage repaired before the pace car comes back around, so they can retain their lap, not go a lap down to the leads. Espinel interesting going down onto the apron, letting the lucky dog by. That was the 04 of Jeffrey Sykes making his way around, getting the lucky dog. Seen Espinel go down to the apron a couple of times already under caution. I've always been interested in that sort of tactic because predominantly, from what I understand, it's to save a bit of fuel. These cars can be, or these trucks, I should say, can be fueled while tires are being put on them. So I can imagine when he that fresh rubber, he would have taken some fuel as well. Maybe it's to, maybe it has got something to do with the tires. My limited knowledge of using the apron during a banked circuit, not too friendly at the moment. What is on the back of that truck? I'm sure everyone else was able to see that. That's Muma's truck. Oh boy. What has he got? Oh, what has he got on the back of that? Oh, race fans. Oh, there's plenty of humor in this one. I'm sure of it. I can't get enough of that. That is amazing. Oh, I'm not sure. There might be a reference in there that I'm not aware of, but that's fantastic. Even without one. as we get the drivers gridded up one more time. Double file. Follow the pace car around. A couple of drivers in the background there catching up to the field just before they hit their flag run. I very much enjoy, as I'm sure everyone in the spectator area does, the throwback paint schemes and basically the throwback weekend. It's a lot of NASCAR races put on. I certainly do. I enjoy looking at the old paint schemes. I very much love them. As we go once again, Espinal gets a great run. Straya following him through. Nelson not quite able to make it stick as he almost takes out Straya, looks like. Straya really shutting the door on him there. As Nelson and Ziegler go too wide already for third place. Espinal really trying to get away. Straya not letting him leave his sights at all. As the field very much stacked up together. Big battle in the back here. 5 drivers, Nelson, Mumma, Boyer, Stanley and Floyd. And even Thornton looks like he's getting in the mix a little bit back there as they're going side by side. 2 wide, 2 back. Getting a little bit loose is Mumma. Several drivers able to make their way, take advantage of that. Floyd coming up and almost getting into Boyer. Mumma trying to make up for that mistake, get under Floyd once again. Low line typically not the line we've seen able to make many passes. Stanley trying to make his way around the outside and make this one work. We've seen the outside work a lot. Thornton keeping Mumma pinned, but Mumma able to make it go around a little bit quicker throughout the mid corner and able to keep that one. Or Thornton's going to try once again, getting very close to the outside quarter panel. And there it is as we have the pass for 8th place on track. Thornton taking over his position there. As the cars all seem to have filed to single file pretty well. Nelson really looking racy. Boyer's really looking racy, I should say, behind him. Catching up, trying to see if he can take a sniff down the inside. Not able to make that truck turn in quite like he wanted, I imagine. Toyota versus Chevrolet, one of the great NASCAR battles of the modern era in throwback paint schemes for the most part, which is certainly an interesting mix. And the 23 of Boyer really trying to make that move happen. As we go up front slightly more, we've got Straya under pressure by Ziegler now for the 2nd place spot. We've seen both of these drivers have a lot of pace. Straya seems to have a little bit more of a short run car, as he seems to be incredibly racy and then fall off slightly quicker than the rest of the field, what we've seen in the past. But potentially that's him saving tires. Oh, as we just speak about tires, looks like he got very loose on the exit of that corner. Might want to keep that one under check, under wraps as Ziegler tries to make. And we have another caution come out. Caleb Nelson we see dropping like a fly there, as see him getting back underway. Have to have a look at that one. Just barely gets tagged. Just tried to come down a bit too far. Oh, back up the racetrack, and thankfully all of these drivers avoided that accident to get that one sorted out without any dramas or woes for the most part. As that's very unfortunate for Nelson because we saw him running up quite high in the field earlier on. Consistently running in around the third sort of mark, so top 5 for sure. Hopefully we can see him make his way up there. There's a Rockingham wall seems to have played a bit of a role on Jeffrey Sykes's car. That right-hand side of his car is just scuffed, and so is the left rear. Sykes is got a bit of damage, but sure, knowing these drivers, it won't affect them too much as the pedal hits the floor and they're making their moves. Plus, these trucks, I mean, they're trucks for a reason. They're built tough. So yeah. Oh, that was horrible. Anyway, Tyler Espinal, as we see, see the 23 coming down. That will be Boyer, who was also involved in that. He was the one that just barely tagged Nelson there, Caleb Nelson. So up the tower, I feel like under that is probably better graphic to use. More of an idea of drivers. You can see all their names clearly. Certainly want to represent all of the drivers out here today. Doesn't matter where you're running. There's very many good battles that are taking place in this race so far. As we have not quite reached the halfway mark, but we're certainly making our way towards it. As these drivers are clicking off laps very, very quickly. We have seen Stanley has already come down pit twice. Kevin Nelson has come down 4 times. To my graphic here. So probably just getting some minor repairs done. I can't imagine taking tires, but maybe taking tires both times. I guess you could have. This is almost halfway, so they have 4 tires remaining. Why not? I'm sure the fresh rubber is definitely playing a factor if you can keep the car under you, because it doesn't seem to make the cars a bit loose. We haven't seen any drivers run the wall yet so far, but see the difference in asphalt there, so probably not a good line to run. Those right tires probably enjoy the marbles up there. Rubber comes off of these cars as the Mustang pace car comes down pit road, and we will get it jumped once again. Estrella tried to anticipate it, got it a bit wrong. Aspinall started a little bit later just to prove a point that he can beat Ziegler to the line. No problems, buts or woes. Ziegler was in second, sorry, I meant Straya, but Straya and Ziegler now having a battle as well. Straya using the high line. Looks like a little bit of lock-up or looseness there. You saw Straya and Ziegler still going at it. I'm sure Ziegler really wants to make up into second place. He hasn't been there yet tonight. Straya determined not to let him have that spot. Throwing the blocks like crazy. Got another few battles back on track. Battle for 6th place. Battle for 5th place, sorry. Stanley, Murphy, Thornton, and Mooma all in the mix here. I still can't get over the face on the back of that car. Oh, man. As they keep on going. 64 machine of Murphy did have a spin earlier on, but we have seen quite a bit of pace out of that car. Able to make that move around the Canadian of Derek Stanley. And we see where these cars getting closer and closer together. going to go back a bit in the pack and see Chris Sawyer. He's coming out and putting on a show. Already up 3 spots from where he started. Just got passed by John Boyer, who's come back out and got his car patched up after that earlier incident. We have a bit more of a battle going on up the front. Kevin Nelson getting around Mitchell, and Kevin Nelson has a little blip there. That's certainly not going to help him. Hopefully that doesn't affect his race too much or any other drivers around him as he gets into the outside wall slightly, and Muma is almost able to... Whoa! No, Muma, hold it. Yes! What a race. What a driver. Able to make that one hold. No caution. That was some amazing piece of technical skill right there. As we go slightly up further, Sawyer just trying to make his way back around Boyer. As we will go a little bit further up into 3rd place, because it looks like Ziegler has been under fire by Floyd quite some time and is still under fire. Certainly looked like an interesting... Floyd taking a little bit more speed, a little bit too much speed it looked like on the exit of that one, the exit of turn 2. Because had to let go of the throttle a little bit, otherwise he was going to get into that outside wall there. Ziegler able to make that gap just slightly bigger, not quite to half a second yet. Espinel and Strayer both 3/4 of a second ahead of each other, as well as ahead of Ziegler. And in 5th we have a lonely Brett Murphy. Trying... Oh, he's not lonely. What am I looking at? I was looking at Floyd. My mistake. Floyd in 4th was a little bit lonely. Seemingly 1 second around him to other drivers. As Murphy and Stanley still look quite racy. Murphy looking very racy after his spin, as we've said earlier. Thornton up 10 spots at this current time from where he started, so fantastic run for him so far. 75 laps into the 140 event, Throwback 140, Epic Universe Truck Series at Rockingham Speedway. Let's have a look further back in the field at Cody Schultz. Now, we haven't really talked about him so far, but he's rocking one of the only 2 Fords in the field today. Nice to see the brand new Fords being represented, as he is trying to catch up to Ryan Robinson, the 16th place. Still on the lead lap. 18 cars on the lead lap so far. Still. As he's trying to make his way up to Ryan Robinson and Nicholas Wing. Quite like the look of those cars there. As we go back up, Floyd is really catching up, or getting caught by Jared Ziegler here. No, he must have just got around him, because Ziegler was in 3rd, wasn't he? Yes, he was. Is he certain of that? We have seen Floyd's car be predominantly quick, actually, on the long runs, which is interesting, as it's quite the opposite of Strayer, as maybe that's a Ford trait. He's running the only other Ford in the field today. Hoping for these green flag runs to keep going, so he can keep that Ford barreling through the field. Drivers, their lap time slowing down a little bit now that they've been out on this rubber for about 40 laps now. Most of these drivers, their lap times have only decreased by 1 second per lap, so still not a huge amount of fall off on these tyres so far. continue to watch Floyd doing masterful duty there. Nelson looks like he's trying to keep the two cars of Caleb Nelson, the other Nelson, and Zachary Thornton behind him, as well as catch up to Brett Murphy and Derek Stanley in front. These two sorted out very slightly as Stanley and Murphy still going side by side. Stanley's got the high line. We have seen that being preferred all night long, and there it is once again. Really cutting off the low line there, though. Murphy trying to send it in as far as he can. These trucks don't seem to be liking this surface all that much. I don't know if that's the surface or the trucks, but I am seeing a lot of movement, a lot of bouncing in the chassis of these things. As we see Stanley able to make that pass work. We're getting close to each other once again. Was really sending it in there. And able to make that DoorDash car move up even further in the field. 5 spots from where he started at the moment. And he had an incident earlier he was involved in, and he came down and got that quickly patched up. So that Tundra's certainly looking fast so far. As I should probably mention that our top 3... Oh! Straya's passed a Spinel! I'm so apologetic for missing that one. Oh, Straya has a big blip. Oh no. Please don't get caught up in internet problems of the past that we have seen. But as I was saying earlier, we should mention that the top 3 cars, Toyota, Chevrolet, and then a Ford. So, great representation from all 3 manufacturers coming out tonight. And we will jump on board Bradley Floyd in the Ford, just to give you an idea of the kind of banking going around in Rockingham, what these drivers are sort of similar deal with. Very steep as he looks to make his way around a Spinel there. And does so. A lap on board there. I do so desperately love the gyro cameras inside some of these trucks, as it looks like a Spinel getting passed as well by Ziegler. I wonder if he's used up his car too much. He's been pushing all race long. And he does have not the oldest tyres on the field at the moment, but certainly an older set. Although I say that, but Straya, Floyd, and Ziegler, who are all in front of him, have the exact same numbers of laps on their rubber as well. So he may have just been using it up, or may have even been saving. Saving is going quite high up there. So certainly an interesting one to look at. And the camera back to the 2 Nelsons getting close together, as well as Brett Murphy just in front of them, 6th, 7th, and 8th place. Chevy. Predominantly a Chevy-dominated field. Quite a few Toyotas, though, being represented well. Murphy under fire from Kevin Nelson, who is unfortunately having some internet problems and woes at the moment. As we will hand the camera back to the front, because it looks like Floyd is coming under fire a little bit from Ziegler now. 3/10 of a second behind, making that gap 4/10 now, as he's obviously able to have made a bit of a better run out of the corner, but gets closed up big time. Ziegler able to send it in deep and keep the power down for that one, so actually making it back to 3/10 of a second now. I don't know what Ziegler's put in that machine in that last lap, but he seems to be flying at the moment. Really, really catching up to Floyd here. Still 0.3 of a second, but it is down fair slightly. That Chevrolet starting to come to where he wants it. As we've got just over 40 laps left, let me know in the chat where you're from, who you're cheering on. We'd love to see the support from all of our viewers. And we appreciate everyone coming out and tuning into these drivers and enjoying a good race, just as I am. As the field getting fairly stretched out, we have a battle forming in 17th, it looks like. 16th, 17th, 18th. Puma, Thornton and Robinson making his move down side underneath Thornton there. As, yes, making that pass, Robinson making that pass as well. Thornton, last car on the lead lap at the moment. Looks like he's going to come into pit under green. Certainly an interesting strategy there. Might pay dividends as we see the leaders making their way around. These races, you never know when a caution's going to come out, and it could potentially help you big time if you get the lucky dog and you're on fresh rubber. Certainly help you get around your competitors. Strayers, I am a big fan of purple and black. Two colors that really go well together. In my mind, at least. As the field is still fairly stretched out. Brett Murphy coming down pit road, as well as John Boyer and Chris Sawyer. So several cars certainly starting to make their way down pit road. Luke Strayer coming down as well. Ziegler makes his way past due to that action. Carla Espinal, Derek Stanley coming down pit road, which puts Caleb Nelson up into the third spot behind Ziegler and Floyd. As a caution coming out anytime soon could really shake things up with a lot of those fast cars coming down. Got Ziegler, I'm not sure if he made the commitment, Corin, but looking very, very dicey as he makes his way onto pit road. Floyd is going to stay out in that Ford. I am a bit biased to Ford, I must say. I have a Ford myself as my car of choice. So apologies if I am favouring Ford a little bit more than the other manufacturers. As he makes his way down to pit road as well, locking up the tyres. Oh, that might cost him there. He may have had a pit road speeding penalty for that one. Caleb Nelson coming down pit road as well. These drivers coming to get potentially their last sets. Got Kevin Nelson with a big 2-second gap, 2.5 second almost gap to the car behind. But I believe, yes, he is going to come down pit road this time. No one wanting to push the issue and stay out for too long, except for potentially Nicholas Wing, Jeffrey Sykes, Cody Schultz, Daniel J. Jensen. we haven't talked much about so far. These 4 drivers probably wanting to try and stay out, hope for a caution, and get back up there with these leaders. As we see Espinal behind them, trying to get his lap back after grabbing fresh rubber. And you can just see the difference there as he's able to just send it in deep and easily gets around the older tired car of Daniel J. Jensen. And back to Nicholas Wing, who also under fire from the lapped down car of Jared Ziegler, who is able to make himself not a lap down anymore. Damn right, Norman. Ford's built tough. You know it. Surprised to see only 2 of them out, but not probably the most unpopular of the 4 cars before the update. I'm hoping the update has certainly rejuvenated a little bit of life back into that blue oval. Continue to see Nicholas Wing, make his way around the circuit, hoping for a caution. He is going to stay out there until his fuel is done, or his tyres up, I imagine. Which would not be fun for anyone, but strategy-wise, if you make it last, that's a good idea. Spinell, as we see, has made its way. You can just see the stark difference there between new rubber and old rubber. Getting a little bit loose though, Espinal. Trying desperately to get his lap back before a potential caution comes out. And yes, he does. Continue to watch Wing ride around. Referee Sykes. See. No, you can't see because he's a little bit further back with the amount of scuff and damage that he has on the back of that car. But he is able to still put on a show, and his lap times are not probably in league. Not much slower, I was going to say. Probably in league with the rest of the pack at the moment on the drivers who have stayed out. Drivers who came in are a second faster, as you can see that. The way they're able to really get around those corners once again, as you see that faster car coming through there. To get a lap back as well. Well, not quite, because Lex is in second. Sorry, Nicholas Wing is still ahead there. So it should be an interesting one of when they come down pit road. Wing, Sykes, Schultz, and Jensen. Jensen looking like he might actually have something for Schultz here on these older tyres. Both cars running the older tyres. May just try and make the move into third spot, as there's some racy cars behind him with fresh tyres coming around. Jensen a little bit off the ball, but that's fine. Didn't get any contact. As we see, almost thinking about 3 wide between these trucks here. These new tires really making these drive. Whoa! Hold on to it, Nelly. As Cody Schultz has a massive bobble, massive moment, able to hold on to it. That may be a sign that that Ford is not happy at the moment. But certainly hoping for a caution. All these 4 drivers still hoping for a caution to come out. As we finally see Nicholas Wing not wanting to take it any further. He is done leading laps of this race. He does not think he can do it. Probably going to try and make this the last set of tyres, I imagine, even if cautions come out. With 26 laps to go, he is going to potentially have fresher rubber and good track position if another 2 cautions come out. depending on where he cycles back to, as Sykes takes over the lead and does another lap entirely on top of that one. 25 laps to go in the Throwback 140 here tonight. Certainly a lot of action been going around on track, a lot of talk about tyres. And I probably haven't mentioned enough that the Chevrolet Silverado has been in there for a little bit now, so a lot of these drivers used to the way that car looks, handles, cooperates with their driving styles. But the Ford, I'm trying to remember what the is, because of course in Australia, where I am from, you don't have these big trucks that they have in America. I know it's the Toyota Tundra, the Americans, and Ford F-150, isn't it? It's the F-150 pickup truck, I'm pretty sure. Someone in chat, please correct me if I am wrong. And yeah, so those two cars, much newer, and so perhaps a lot of these drivers still having to get used to the way that they handle over the course of not only a long run, but under fresh rubber as well. Daniel Jensen catching up to Jeffrey Sykes. Now, it's very interesting to see Jensen now seemingly able to make some crazy moves. I just realized Sykes has not pitted since lap 42. Wowza. That's 100 laps, isn't it? Whoa. Sykes is doing something different as he unfortunately gets overtaken by Straya there. Once again, Straya able to do it the hard way and make his way all the way around the entire field back to the top spot. I'm sure Sykes, I'm not sure if his fuel will last that long, but he's definitely going to give it a go. So is Daniel Jensen, who has got 20 laps fresher than Sykes. I am incredibly amazed at the amount of saving that Sykes has been able to pull off here. That's absolutely incredible, going over 100 laps. You can see the difference there, just night and day, really, of the difference in tyre wear. Bigler able to make his way around. But even still, it says Sykes with the last lap time, it's still only about a second slower. Getting close to a second and a half, I think. Second and a bit. That's some incredible timing there. Someone needs to congratulate Sykes after this race, because that's crazy stuff. We go back to the leader of Straya for the moment. That field very stretched out at the moment, except we've got a battle between some lapped cars as Thornton and Robinson go at it, and Muma as well. Sorry, Robinson a little bit further behind. Thornton letting the faster car of Espinel go by, as he does have a lap on his cars, and unfortunately losing the time to in the process of being the gentleman driver. Back at Straya for the moment. He's putting on a clinic at the moment. 16 coming up to 15 laps to go. Is a 140 lap event. This move race with 15 laps to go at the present time is Cody Schultz, up 14 spots, where he started followed closely by Daniel J. Jensen just in front of him in 6th place, up 13 spots. So those two drivers having an amazing day so far if they can just hold on to it, because they both came down pit road last time on lap 62, fresh rubber. So they will be having some much faster company around them. 13 laps to go. We have seen Jeffrey Sykes unfortunately not able to make the fuel last another 15, 16 laps. Fantastic effort from him though, trying to hold off for a late caution, which unfortunately never came. As we are going to watch Floyd once more, because blue ovals, that's why. And he is following Ziegler. He's actually not too far behind, less than half a second. Eleven laps to go now. Really, really. Oh, the yellow flag is out once more. What happened to cause that one? I don't see anything on our board of many incidents that I have on my right hand side. I do see what that one. Have a look and see if we find. Oh, there we go. I just saw it back up there. That in front of Jensen at the time. I switch to C. Oh, there he is. Jeffrey Sykes. No. What happened to you, my man? Whoa, that's some crazy. That's some crazy action. Oh! Massive amount of netcode there. The 35 of Zachary Thornton. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Oh, that's so unfortunate. That is not what we want to see. Not at all. I myself, being Australian, understand the problems with netcode, and I didn't even have to look at that one once again. I knew that was netcode from the way that the car just reacted there. That was not nice to see. That's so unfortunate. Oh, but that will shake things up a bit. Stack the field up together. And some drivers opting to stay out. I say some, just the lonely Mitchell Muma. He looks like he has to let the field go by though. Ah, yes, because he was either the lucky dog or a lap down. So pit road now, unless he's just getting minor repairs done. As the field is going to get ready for an 8-lap shootout. I hope you're as excited as I am. Lap down cars get the wave around there. See M. Stanley make his way into his rightful place. Up in the lead of this race at the moment is pit stop much quicker than the rest of the field to get in that track position. I'm assuming only took 2 tires or maybe fuel alone, a full 5 seconds quicker that fuel stop. Pit stop, I should say, as we don't know if he actually took fuel or not. So the Canadian trying something different here to all the Americans. See if that one pays off for him as the lights are out on the pace car. We're going to have 6 laps to go when this thing turns green once again. The Mustang pulls onto pit road, representing Ford once more, as Stanley gets a huge jump. Ziegler getting a massive push from Espinal, though, sorry, who pushes Straya as well. Oh, Ziegler goes round and collects Espinal. We have a caution. We have a caution. Oh no. Oh no, I know, I know, I know, I know. So I'm going to grab that one. There is Espinal. Oh, there's Sawyer. Brakes. No. Oh. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Not quite able to hold it. Doesn't get involved with anyone else, though. Oh, actually, I may have called that one too soon. Yep. Gets plowed into there. Well, um, actually, the Aspinall. Ziegler goes round, and then Aspinall just plows into him, then manages to keep that car underneath him surprisingly well. Wow. Okie dokie. I apologize for my use of the replay button there. Wasn't the best showing of my skills as a broadcaster, that one. But we all saw it live, and yeah, I'm going to stop trying to justify myself. As we get ready for the final few laps of Rockingham Speedway. Stanley still in first position. Straya in second. Lloyd in third. Caleb Nelson in fourth. John Boyer is fifth. And Kevin Nelson will be in sixth. That will be your front 3 rows of wide action. As we might see this turn into a green-white checkered finish. Now what that means is when the cars come around to grab the white flag after one start, then after the white flag, the race will be finished. Doesn't matter if a caution is supposed to come out or not, there will be no caution. Cars will race to the end of the race. And at the moment, we have 3 white checkered attempts potential in this league. So we may see them brought out, as I'm sure they will actually be brought out for this restart here. This will be an attempt at the green-white. Checkered that is. So with 3 laps to go, I'd like to thank Camping Universe for hiring Team Squad to present their race to the world. And I hope I can do them as proud as they would like me to be doing. As the pace car lights are off, so we get underway. This final shootout is definitely going to be a very interesting one. Some cars at the back there trying to warm up their tires, get the jitters and woes sorted out. Or we get this one rolling once again. Drivers stacking up there. Rick Stanley trying to represent the great nation of the Maple Leaf in Canada. And there he goes. Australia trying to anticipate the start, didn't quite get the jump he wanted. Nelson able to make use of that mistake, staying up in the high side. Great strategy he's been able to pull off, and he's even trying to go there, try to go 3 wide, and Rockingham on the right, on the back straight. Desperate for the win. Caleb Nelson on the outside, able to make that one stick. Stanley goes way up the racetrack as Australia unfortunately loses the back end as the final lap. Caution. No way. No. The spinal we're showing as went off track. Oh boy. Wow, okay. Gonna grab 60. There it is, Brett Murphy. Oh, they tried to go 3 wide in the back as well. Oh yeah, that wasn't. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh, that looked nasty. Oh, we don't like to see that. As Norman King told us in the spectator area not too long ago, 3 wide at the Rock, or at the Ham, as sorry, make myself laugh, just doesn't work. And, oh, that truck really gets airborne. Lucky not to roll it over. Spinell gets involved in that. 35. Oh, a lot of good drivers getting involved in that one. As he will try and get it stacked up once more. As we now have the new leader of Caleb Nelson. I believe this is his first time in the number 1 position, starting in second. No, that is not the race. The caution came out probably about a split second before the front runner passed the checkered flag line. Oh, that must be heartbreaking for Nelson. He's going to have to try and do it all over again, as that was very nearly the race. But the caution came out just a tad quicker than his truck was able to pull over across the line. Which showed up as white, but changed. It changed very quickly. His driver's really, really getting antsy. 8th caution of the night. That pace car certainly getting some miles racked up. We will attempt another green-white, I believe. This will be the second white checkered. We have one more on standby if we choose to use it. As the pace car lights are off, so we're going to have one more very quick shootout, I assure you. His drive is getting very, very, very racy. Best lap times all in the 24s, all low 24s. We're all stacked up very close together. Stanley, your second place driver at the moment, has made the most positions so far as of this point in the race, making up 13 spots. We have Nelson, Stanley, Floyd, Strayer, Boyer, and Nelson again. Different Nelson, Kevin Nelson, as opposed to Caleb Nelson, who starts in first. That will be your top 6, 3 abreast down the back stretch as back corner, I should say, into third and four, as the pace car is going to make the hard left turn once again. There he goes, defying physics ever so slightly. And Caleb Nelson not wasting any time, getting underway as quick as possible, trying to get a lead big time from Derek Stanley. Bradley Floyd trying to follow pursuit. Straya trying to get into the top three as well. Nelson with a big lead over Stanley. They're getting really racing behind him as Stanley and Floyd getting very, very close. Floyd trying to make a move on the inside. Not sure how that's going to work as we haven't seen it pay off too much in the past as Straya goes to the outside. Almost gets shunted into the wall there by Floyd. Straya's getting really close to the outside wall as he backs off quite a bit. Floyd able to send it in deep. Probably pull a slide job on him. Yes, he will, as he almost gets into Derek Stanley there as well. Final lap as the flag flies. Caleb Nelson still out with a big lead, but all the eyes are on the back on second place as Stanley and Floyd go side by side. Nelson picks up the win. Stanley second. Bradley Floyd in third. That is your top three. Whoa, Nelly. What a race. What a race. Caleb Nelson picking up his first win of the season, only the third race of the season as well, as we see him celebrate. Cracking a doughy over the finish line there. Nice long burnouts. I, for one, can tell you I don't know how to do these burnouts. These drivers are something else. I'm sure someone will tell me, just turn the traction control off. Yeah. Anyway, as we are still watching, look at him parking victory lane all smug. And he deserves to be. Caleb Nelson with an amazing win, pulling it out towards the end of that race. Going to show that you need a strong car, but you don't need to be the number one car for most of the race, as long as you can get it done towards the end. As would to seeing drivers make their way into the waiting room. And we bring up results here for you. Have Caleb Nelson, Derek Stanley, Bradley Floyd, Lucas Straya, John Boyer, Kevin Nelson, Mitchell Moomer, Josiah Strauss, Nicholas Wing, and Cody Schultz bringing up your top 10. And there you see the top 18 drivers as we are get someone in here. Don't see Bradley Floyd, so I guess we're going to jump on to Eric Stanley in second place. Second, Derek Stanley, it's Gareth up in the booth. You got me?
Yeah, I got a copy.
All right. Well, how do you feel? Second place in that race. That was one hell of a battle for second place there towards the end. And what was your take on that? Did Floyd drive you a little bit up the wall, get you a bit upset, or you just having fun racing with mates?
That was just aggressive racing, last 5 laps. Totally understandable. I was on 2 tires anyways. I was shocked I was able to hold second place out of that. It was a fun, great race.
Yeah, we saw you take the two tires, and we also see that you're the only Canadian out there, so it's great to have some international representation out
Yeah,
there.
buddy.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, do you reckon, how did the race go from your perspective? Do you think the two tires, I mean, I would assume the fact that you've already mentioned it was the major factor in bringing you to that position, but you had a pretty racy car the whole race, and gaining 13 spots, certainly no easy feat anyway.
Yeah, I didn't get too much practice. I only practiced maybe like 5 minutes. So as the race went on, I got to know the track a bit better in the setup. And the
Well,
two tires just helped me get those extra spots.
well, if you didn't have much practice, then I don't know how you were able to pull that one off. Fantastic race, Stanley. You have any sponsors, friends, family you'd like to shout out here for the second place?
I'd like to thank my teammates, Team Yee Yee, all those guys over there, and Brett Murphy for making my sexy ass paint job.
Did see it was a very good looking car. From all these cars out here were very good looking for the Throwback 140 Rockingham Speedway, so it was nice to see that. And yeah, we'll catch you next time. Hopefully we can get you a win sometime soon.
Yeah, that would be nice.
All right, Derek, we'll
Have a
see you
great night.
later. All right, that was Derek Stanley in the 82 machine, bringing home second. We will bring up Caleb Nelson. Caleb, you have a copy. This is Gareth up in the booth.
I do. How are you?
I am fantastic, my friend. You had a great qualifying up into second. You unfortunately fell back a little bit, but still hanging around the fifth sort of top five mark for a while there. And second last green white, you really managed to just ebb your way in there with a three wide and managed to make that stick. And then the last caution, you just pulled away with what a great jump. Was that the plan as soon as you knew the last caution was coming out?
Yeah, no, that was definitely the plan. As soon as that last yellow happened, I wanted to get the best jump I could. But right from early portion of the race was just riding around, biding my time. Just trying to save my tires and wait it out because it's a long race, 140 laps here. So I was just hanging around and unfortunately got together with someone, spun out, went to the back and worked my way back up. I'd like to apologize first of all to the 98. I accidentally got into him going into turn 3 during one of those runs. Heck of a save to save it, but I don't know how I pulled off that 3 wide pass for the lead on the restart. I'm gonna call it stupid luck. I went up there and it just so happened to stick, and I'm happy it did.
All right. Well, I mean, fantastic race. I don't have much more to say. Congratulations on your first win.
Oh,
And
thank
yeah, sorry. you,
No, that's all right. I appreciate it. Thank you. And I'd just like to give a shout out to my teammates, my dad, Kevin, and Jeff. When we had a unfortunate race as far as incident goes, and we were able to come together at the end and pull out some decent finishes.
yeah, I for one could not believe that all of a sudden, like as I said, I saw you close to the start, close to the top for most of the race. You did get spun around, as you said, but managed to claw your way back and fantastic win there. Really deserved it.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
All right, and we'll catch you later. Have a good night. Have a
All right.
go celebrate with probably a beer, I'd imagine.
Yep, definitely. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Bye bye.
All right, and that will be it from us here at Team Goon Squad. Thank you for tuning in to the Camping Universe Throwback 140 from Rockingham Speedway, and we will see you next time, same time, same place. Have a good night.